What's going on, people? This is Shok, and this is the video that everybody who is subscribed to YouTubers always awaits. Who won E3 2015? Now, I'm sure you guys noticed I didn't do a video on, I didn't do a review on Ubisoft, EA, or Bethesda. So I'm gonna briefly, as quickly as I can, because this isn't the point of the video, talk about those conferences. But EA's I thought was slightly like under mediocre. I'll say mediocre. So EA had a really mediocre conference. They started off announcing the new Mass Effect, which is great, but no gameplay. Points taken off. The new Need for Speed looked pretty cool, but Need for Speed is kind of like, you know, it's just one of those like annual, franchises that I just get kind of tired of seeing, But the game actually looks good. I can't lie, it actually does look good. A new expansion for Star Wars: The Old Republic. That's pretty cool for those of you who still play it. All two of you. I'm not hating on the game either, because I used to actually play that game when it first came out. Star Wars mobile game, that stuff. The new Yarn game that what was it called? Unravel. Unique. I like I'm willing to see myself really buying this game, but I do appreciate games like this. Games to kind of like fill a gap. Because a lot of developers don't want to focus on uniqueness and creativity nowadays. So it's great to just see a game like this. Every now and then. I just felt really bad for the developer who was on stage presenting it, because he was like hella nervous. Like the dude's hands were shaking and everything. Like I just felt so bad for him. Then they talked about NBA Live, whatever. Plants vs Zombies, Garden Warfare 2, looks alright. FIFA, Jesus Christ, they spent so much time on FIFA. I fell asleep. Go back and watch my live reaction to the EA conference. I fell asleep on this conference until Mirror's Edge Catalyst. I heard that Mirror's Edge music. I woke up. I was like, yes, my woman, my wife, Faith, my wife. If I see any of y'all playing that game, I'm coming for y'all. But I'm a huge Mirror's Edge fan. I freaking love Mirror's Edge. I cannot wait to get this game. It looks great. There's no linear level system now. The whole city is just gonna be part of the game. Like the whole city is just gonna be free roam on the rooftops. That's freaking badass. That's awesome. And the story is looking like it's going to be freaking amazing and incredible. Can't wait for it. Star Wars Battlefront. Now, like I said in the Sony conference, despite the lack of stuff that this game is missing from the previous Battlefront games, the gameplay is undeniably awesome. I got to get this game. I'm sorry. It looks great. They nailed the Star Wars essence, just to the T. Now, that may not have sounded bad, but the thing is like kind of the boring parts in this conference kind of took up, the majority of the time, when they're talking about NHL and FIFA and NBA and Madden and all that stuff. And I know some of you guys out there are sports fans like that, but they don't need to dedicate that much time to yearly installments. You see what I mean? I don't think they should be doing that. Now, going on to Ubisoft's conference, it was hella annoying. It annoyed the hell out of me because Aisha Taylor was talking too much. She was forcibly making herself curse because she thinks cursing is gonna make her edgy and funny and hardcore. And oh, these dude bro gamers will respect me because I curse. Look at me, I'm cursing on stage. I'm supposed to be a professional. Isn't that so crazy? No, it's not. Aisha Taylor, stop trying to be so hardcore. Stop trying to be so edgy. Stop your try hard. Stop being such a tryhard. You're fine as fuck, and I would do so many ungodly things to you, woman. But seriously, you gotta learn to shut your mouth. I'm sorry. But going on to Ubisoft's conference, Rainbow Six, I said this before in one of my previous videos, or was it the live reaction? I'm probably thinking about that. But I think the whole novelty of breaching through walls and windows is going to wear off real quick, and then we're just going to be left with the guts of the game, which is just a standard run-of-the-mill shooter. I'm sorry, I know a lot of you guys are hyped for that. You guys are like, here goes Shokio again, downing something new. That's just how I feel. I'm sorry. It didn't look amazing to me. The Crew's getting an expansion, whatever, that game's irrelevant. I didn't even know that game came out, when it came out, because nobody talked about it whatsoever. It's crazy. New Trials Fusion with the freaking squirrel or whatever on a freaking fire-breathing unicorn. I don't know. I don't know. It's whatever. Just Dance 2016. Yada yada. Rainbow Six, where we talk about that. Syndicate. Whatever. New South Park game. That was a good announcement. They get points for that. For Honor. That was the highlight of Ubisoft's conference for me. It's this medieval game that actually focuses on intricate sword play, and I've always wanted a game like that. It's not just oh, mash A, and my character slashes and does the work for me. You actually have to time your attacks, you have to wait, you have to bait, you have to counter and parry and all that stuff. I've always wanted a game like this. It's multiplayer 4v4. It looks great. That's gonna be awesome. Anno 2205. That looks pretty cool. Little RTS game going on there. I could see myself playing that. Trackmania Turbo. Trackmania is a pretty good series. And then a new Ghost Recon Wildlands. That also looked good because it kind of reminded me of a open world Payday. Bethesda, I'm not going to really talk about because Bethesda's games don't interest me, but I'll get to that in a second. So that being said, now that I've kind of given my recap on Ubisoft and EA's press conferences, who do I think won E3 out of Sony, Microsoft, EA, Ubisoft, Nintendo, and Bethesda, and Square Enix? I forgot Square Enix. Let me put Square Enix on this list, actually. There we go. Okay, so here is my order from best conference to worst. Sony comes in first place with an 8.3 out of 10 or a B out of A+. Reason being, why did Sony win? Some of you guys may say. Sure, they didn't have a lot of multiplats, but let me ask you this question. Who had the biggest reveals? Undeniably, hands down, Sony. There's no arguing that. They had the most, like, whoa, like, reveals. Like, I never thought that would happen, right? That's what E3 is all about. Sony had it. Doesn't matter if it's multiplat or not. Sony had the most wow factor this year. There's really nothing much else to say about that. Second place, Bethesda. And I know a lot of you guys may be surprised that Shokio was giving Bethesda second place, considering I don't give a shit about 99% of their games. But again, you guys know me. I'm not the kind of gamer where I'm like, oh, that doesn't interest me, so it's crap. I understand its appeal for other people. You see what I'm saying? And it had me like, despite the fact that I don't care about the games, like I'm still watching, and I could like, you know, I'm not like, oh, that's boring as hell. Like I see what they're doing. I'm intrigued by, like, you know, these customization things they're doing, you know, and stuff like that. You know, so I could see the appeal. And Doom actually looked pretty good to me. I want that multiplayer. That multiplayer looks pretty freaking sick. But Bethesda probably had the least boring conference out of anybody. Sure, theirs was kind of like shorter and kind of more focused, but it is what it is. They had some good stuff to show for Bethesda fans. So Bethesda comes in second place with an 8 out of 10 or a B minus out of A plus. Microsoft comes in third with a solid 7 out of 10. I could also maybe give it a 6.5, but for now I'm going to be generous and just say 7 out of 10 or a C out of A plus. Not bad, not a bad conference, just not exceptional, you know, in any kind of way, shape, form, or fashion. It was just kind of a lot of they revealed a lot of games, but like I said in my review, a lot of the games were just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay, but nothing was like, oh crap, that looks awesome. But they did have Halo, they had Gears, and the Xbox 360 backwards compatibility. That's pretty huge. They definitely get major points for that. So that's why Microsoft comes in third. Square Enix comes in fourth. Now, while Square did have more better games to show than Microsoft, in my opinion, the reason why I'm placing Square under Microsoft is because their pacing and presentation was absolutely horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. Like, Jesus Christ. I understand, like, English isn't their you know, first language, but they need to get some better presenters up there next time. And they talked way too much whenever they introduced somebody up on stage. Like, they would be like, okay, here's the producer of Kingdom Hearts 3, and he would sit there and talk for 8 minutes before he finally showed a trailer or something, right? Everybody was doing that the whole conference, and that's why I'm putting this below Microsoft's. But as far as the games front was actually pretty good. They showed Just Cause, looks good. World of Final Fantasy, whatever, and Final Fantasy VII Remake. I don't know why they showed the exact same trailer. Then the Kingdom Hearts iOS. Those are 3 things that were like low points in that conference. But every other game either looked good or sounded good. There's a new Nier game coming out. I haven't played it, but I do know that people who do play that series, you know, call it a pretty damn good RPG series. Kingdom Hearts 3 footage looks freaking great. That game looks so smooth. Can't wait for Kingdom Hearts. Hitman trailer. I'm actually not interested in the Hitman franchise at all, but that trailer intrigued me a bit. I kind of like how open-ended it is, how you could go anywhere like in the world and choose your targets and choose how there's so many ways, you know, you could choose to dispatch them, right? You don't even have to fight, you don't even have to stab or pull a trigger. You could poison them at a bar. I thought that was extremely cool. I haven't played a single Hitman game in my life. I don't even know what Hitman is about outside of the fact that you're playing a Hitman killing people, but this one piqued my interest. It really did. And then Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness, I believe, is the subtitle. I hated Star Ocean 4 because I thought the gameplay was crap. I'm just giving a recap of the Square Enix conference right now. Holy crap! But I love Star Ocean 3, and this one looks really good. I like how it's seamless with the, when you find an enemy and you go to like the battle system, there's no like warp screen or anything like that. It's nice and seamless. And then Deus Ex also looked pretty great. So that's why Square gets fourth. Ubisoft comes in a pretty close fifth. Did I get Square score? Square gets a. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna put Square above Microsoft. Square comes in third. Microsoft comes in fourth. I'm going to give Square a 7.5. I'm going to give Microsoft a 7. There we go. Ubisoft comes in. Where am I at right now? Ubisoft comes in fifth. Like I said, the For Honor would look really cool, but yeah, Aisha Taylor really she held that conference back so much. And then the Assassin's Creed CG trailer, we didn't really need that, and there's just a lot of stuff that was just like, okay, we don't really care for this. What is this crap? But the things they did show, such as the new Tom Clancy game, and For Honor, looked pretty cool. I'll give Ubisoft a D plus or a very low C minus. If I had to give it a number score, I'll give Ubisoft like a 6.5, 6.8, 6.5. I'll give it 6.5. Ubisoft gets a 6.5 out of 10. That's not a bad score. That's an okay score in my book. EA comes in sixth with a 6 out of 10. Just a lot of boring segments with the sports. I know EA is all about the sports, but it's like when you have these yearly installments of games, you shouldn't have to spend so much time on them, right? Because people know what to expect. You don't have to spend 10 minutes on FIFA. You don't have to spend 10 minutes on Madden. You don't have to do that. People already know what's up. You see what I'm saying? But they did have a good showing of Star Wars Battlefront. That game looks great. Mirror's Edge. Oh my God, can't wait for that game. The story is looking like it's gonna be incredible. It's open world. We're on the rooftops now and all. I already talked about all that, but it just looks great. But EA comes in sixth, and then Nintendo of course comes in dead last. Oh, EA score 6 out of 10. I already said that, yeah. And then Nintendo comes in last with a 3 out of 10 for obvious reasons I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to get angry again. So that's my order. That's my list. I'm sure a lot of you guys is probably going to look like that as well. But that's it, y'all. So leave me your thoughts down below. That's what I think. See you guys later. Peace.